All right. Hey, so I want to just say
Oh,
a couple quick things.
oh.
I think our
Somebody
next
knows
session,
that.
I'm going to have a link for everybody here. It's going to be to a special members only portal, a place where you guys can go and look and watch all of these videos that we've been doing. And Junior and Kristina and myself, and even back in the beginning, Ataij, we were all doing this Tuesday, Thursday Jiu-Jitsu. I call it the BJJ Zoom Room. You guys like that? If you know, the Zoom Room. Well, I'm going to give you guys a link to that portal Tuesday, and it's going to have like all the videos that Junior and Kristina and Ataij and myself have been putting out. And I also want you guys, if you're not on board yet, really consider coming to the HIT classes. I just started a beginner's class, and I also have a grapplers conditioning class, which a couple of you guys are taking right now. So try to get on board with that. You don't want to hear the school's opening up and you guys are going to come to class and you're going to be like fat and out of shape and lazy and all that. Like, come to class, be ready, get in shape. Now's the time, not later. Okay. So I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Eric, the fight analyst. He's got some stuff to share with us today. So, Eric.
All right. And hopefully it will go normally this time. Hold on. Let me get the...
Besides Eric, it's only girls.
Here we go. All right. Hold on, give me a couple minutes. My computer's giving me some issues.
Hey, let's go to Sierra. Hey, Sierra. Hey, I'm going to Sierra because she just bought a dummy. And she's been doing the classes. You want to tell everybody how they're going?
They're going really well. It's a lot easier when you have a firmer dummy. But yeah, no, they're going well.
Yeah, so you've been working out with pretty much a squishy, homemade, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we do techniques in the class. I also give them challenges. Like, hey, last week we did 15 sprawls. Today we're going to do 20. Hey, Talia, she's also been doing it. She bought herself a dummy too. Okay. Hey, Talia, you want to say anything to the group about the class? Like, whatever. I'll close my eyes. I'll close my ears. Tell them the truth.
I'm at every class, so I think I say enough. I say enough on these videos. Well,
Hey,
in the HIT class and the grappling class.
All right, that's all right. You know what? I started a martial arts school. I went down to Baltimore City and filled out the application in 1995. Some of you guys weren't even born in 1995. And since that time, and since I've had a school, I've recognized certain students who I call the number one. And to be the number one, you have to be the student whose face I see the most, right? And usually it's somebody who's like taken this class and this class and that class, and they're usually there early and they're usually, leaving late, and they're there on weekdays and they're there on weekends and they go to special events, and it's like all of a sudden I'll just see them and I'll say like, hey, John, you know what? I just want to tell you, you're number one. So, you know what, Talia, you are internet number one, right? All right. You are student number one. Nobody else can take that from you. Okay. So keep it up. All right. Eric, you ready yet?
I think I am. All right, let's give it a...
All right.
All right, can you see this?
Yep.
All right. So last week, our intrepid hero, Lucas Lepri, tried for a Shinshin sweep, and he failed. And we're going to look deeper into his next sweep attempts.
You're gonna have to blow that up, Eric.
Hold on a sec. All right. Can you see full screen now?
You know what? It might be me. Let me see. All right, now we can. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're just gonna. So if you remember, White, we're just call him White, has the belt, and he went for the sweep and he failed. So right now he's in a bad position. Now what he's gonna do, and this is really important, he still has that grip on the belt, but what he's gonna do with his right arm is he's gonna make a frame. And frames are one of the most important things in jiu-jitsu. It's a concept that changed everything. I remember when I was a white belt, Coach Mike kept getting side control on me, and it wasn't pleasant. It was horrible. So afterwards, I said, "How do I stop this?" And he says, "Don't let me get there in the first place." And that was a mind-blowing concept. And the whole thing was, instead of working so hard to get out of side control, put in some frames so that you can prevent them from getting it in the first place. And when you, and a frame can be used in all positions. When you do a frame, you want to line up your bones. So you have your radius and ulna lining up with your humerus behind your body. And it's kind of like the difference between doing a push-up, holding it locked out. You can hold that for a while, but if you go down like halfway position, your arms are bent, your muscles are going to fatigue. And since you don't have your bones holding you up like you would if your arms are locked out, you're going to fall. So it actually makes it very, very powerful. So if you've got someone really strong like me, Junior can keep me away easily with little effort with the frame while I'm using all this effort to get past him. It's just such an important concept offensively and defensively, and we'll see that. So right now, we're going to have White, and he's going to try to regain guard. Now you're going to see Blue is going to try to prevent it. And I think if we go back, this is a really important part. You can already see right there that White is trying to bring his knees in and get guard back. But Blue isn't having any of that. He's going to push it away. All right. So White has that frame preventing Blue from moving his hips in. And Blue wants to get around the frame because you can't go through a frame. You got to go around. All right. And as the camera guy turns. Now look at this. Blue is once again going to push away the knees, but he didn't get this one. And this one is going to make a frame up here. Frame doesn't have to just be an arm, an outstretched arm. It could be a shin. So he's creating a little shield there. And it's not just doing that. If you look, we see that White still has that grip. And what he's doing is he's pulling up and to Blue's left. So more like this. Now, if he's just doing with his arm, it's going to take a lot of effort. But if you notice, look how White put his knee below White's arm. And look what he's going to do. He's going to use his hips and his whole body, his knee and his elbow, and he's going to push Blue over this way. Now I'm just going to pause right here and explain to you the concept of action reaction, because this is also another very fundamental concept. When I teach judo, this is very important in judo. So I'm going to give an analogy that I like to teach my judo students, and it'll translate over this. Imagine you're in a small room and the walls are all lava, because lava is awesome. Now you want to chuck your opponent into the lava. So the first thing you do is you try pushing them into the lava. Nobody's ever going to let you push you into lava. Doesn't matter if the other person's stronger, you're always going to push back. That is that is a reaction that you're getting. So you are going to take that reaction and you're going to do something with it. So I want you to imagine these two people, they're locked up trying to push each other into the lava walls, and they're both evenly matched. All of a sudden, one of them steps to the side and pulls. And that guy has his pushing power plus other guys pulling power, and he goes straight into the lava. When I teach judo, it's a Sotogari Sasaitsu Kamiyashi combo. It would, I guess it'd make more sense if I was teaching it that way. But you are using the other person's energy against them, not like that like weird magical stuff. We're talking about you are going to make them go the direction they want to go and give them a little extra push. So as we can see here, white is going to get blue's, his weight's off balance. You see blue has his hands right there on the mat. If he, you know, you're not going to let anyone push you into lava, just like you're not going to just stay there and let this happen to you. He's going to have to get his balance back, and he's going to have to regain his posture. So he's going to put his weight towards the right. And what white is going to do is he's just going to help him out. Look at that. Now blue's really good. This guy's got a heck of a base. He is posting, but right there, you can see that motion, that movement. It's just a rocking movement. Bring them to the other side. The more they resist going to one side, the easier it's going to be to take them to the other side. So right here, we've got, now this attempt failed, but that's okay, because white has a couple more tricks up his sleeve. I want you to notice this right here. This is a frame. Oops. This is also a frame. It's no coincidence they're in the same plane. If you notice, there's a line going right down there. There's a good reason for this. It's because, I guess, well, I'll demonstrate. Also notice how white still is the belt. All right. Now, here is where there is some absolute magic. You can see this right here. What blue is going to do is blue is going to shift he's going to shift his weight over to the left. You're going to see him put his left hand on the mat, right? Wait for it, right there. As soon as his weight is shifting, I want you to notice what is going on right here and right here. As his weight shifts off of that leg a little bit, off of his left knee, and you're going to see white use his shin to shin guard to drag blue's foot across. And at the same time, you're going to see him take that belt grip, and he's going to sneak it up and grab the sleeve. This is absolute brilliance. He has literally just taken blue's weight. He's crossed the legs, and he's blocked not only this leg, but this arm as well. All of blue's weight is now it's precariously balanced towards and what white is going to do is he's going to use this frame. He's not going to use just the arm. He's not going to use just the leg. He's going to use both together, and he's going to sweep him. Now blue's good. He blocks here, but that's all right. Don't give up on a sweep if it doesn't work. Switch directions. And you're going to see from here, even though, once again, the sweep doesn't work, you're going to see white manage to get a little nice escape out the back door, and not that long after this, he's going to take the back and bow and arrow him. But I want to just point out this one part. You always want to do things with your arms and your legs together. It's like when you got guard. You don't break the posture with just your arms. You bring your knees to your chest and break the posture with your arms. You got to work both of them together, and you have to work in tandem. You're going to see in this slow motion, you're going to see how white is going to use both at the same time. His hip is actually going to go a little bit before, but that's because he's generating the power by throwing his hip. Look at that. And he's keeping that frame, and he's using his whole body to sweep him. And so, even though it took 3 sweep attempts, finally, white manages to take the back and get the tap. And there you have it. More magic from high-level legends. And Thursday is Marcelo Garcia, and I am a huge fanboy, so
Hey,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
gush.
cancel my Netflix. I mean, I was just having so much fun doing that. I was like, "Where's the popcorn?" I mean, Eric, that was awesome, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. So, hey, I'm gonna hand it on over now to Junior and Kristina here, and I don't know what they have for us, but I know it's gonna be awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
All right, great job, man. Really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. My first. So we are still covering. No, we're gonna start near the belly today. We're gonna start near the belly today, guys. Gonna take a couple of days, maybe today, Thursday, next week, sometime. And I think so.
We already have the armbar set today, so we're just the armbar.
Yeah, we're gonna do some submissions from. We're not gonna get too deep on the knee and the belly. We're just gonna show some more, like a couple more things from knee and the belly, and then we're gonna move on Thursday. We're gonna move from side control to the back. All right. I think Professor has a submission, and I also have one. And I'm just gonna quickly review like where to place your knee when you go near the belly and how to stay there. And then we're gonna go on right into the submission, right? So, you're on side control. Hope you guys can see my feet. Make sure your butt is collapsed and you go under the armpit and bring the person towards you for a little bit more pressure, all right? Your hand can either cover the far side hip here or the hip that is closer to you. You choose, all right? Both of them will be very good. My hand, usually when I start going for the knee and the belly, I'll try to place it somewhere on the hands, all right? Or I can put my full arm on the belly and protect myself from the person bringing the knee in, all right? So I'm here, I'm gonna bring my arm and I'll protect that knee from coming in. And I'm not gonna jump and do this, all right? Because the person will react to that. I'll bring my knee in slowly here, and then I'll put my other leg up. So I have to have a base. If it's like this is not knee on the belly. The person's just pushing you forward, all right? So my shin is here and here. Now, one more detail that I want to show. The shin that is on the belly, make sure your feet is not on the mat. It's right here. Because if it's on the mat, the person will push you and you can't forward. But if it's on if it's not on the mat, the person will walk, right? And you can follow the person, all right? Those are just little details. We're gonna move on into the submission, all right? So you have knee on the belly, all right? The person will usually frame like this. See, this arm is closer to my hip and the other one is on my knee. What I'm gonna do an arm bar using this armpit and this arm that is closer to me, all right? So first I'm gonna hold on the sleeve here, and I'm gonna bring my foot on the shin, on the armpit. So here, I'm gonna bring my foot on the armpit, and I'll start putting pressure so the person feels the pressure and turns to that side, all right? So here, and I'll bring my feet, and I'll lock it on the neck. And I'm gonna fall. My feet I'm gonna try to make sure that my knees are gonna squeeze together. If it's too open, the person can just get out, yeah. So when I squeeze here, the person's already putting the foot. Bring it on. Here, up. Right. If you feel like you want a little bit more secure, you can use your feet behind the shoulder, right? A little bit more secure. And here. Sometimes if this is not working, you can take your foot and do just the normal one, right? Here, here, pull it up, bring your foot, lock it, and fall. Here, make sure the thumb is facing up, hips, go. If it's not working, you can even do this. Have it under your armpit, and go. Right? First you can go. Were you guys able to see it well? Do you guys want me to repeat it? Any questions? If not, we're gonna move on. All right.
Now, same-sided arm bar, so the side that you're on is usually right there, okay? But if you're, in my case, sometimes, again, the first thing that happens is when I know that the knee is gonna go onto my belly, I'm already prepared with my frame so that when the knee is there, I'm gonna hit the skate as soon as I can. And so depending on the strength of the person on the bottom, how well they react is how likely you are to get one arm bar or the other. You can go for either one, but always realize what's presenting to yourself, presenting to you. If they're already on their side, you can no longer attack the same side. You have to attack the far side. But if they stay flat, it's going to be easier for you to attack the same side arm bar. So it's really important to know in which situation you attack which arm bar, because you can't just go for any arm bar that you want. You have to go for what's being presented to you with how the person's reacting. So again, sorry, here, side control. I control the pant closest on the hip closest to me. I block the leg. I get to the belly. So the moment I get here, for the most part, they usually already have their frame. And I have a hard time getting this one because they're hiding their frame. Like they're hiding the arm, they're pinching the elbow, they're already turning on their side, okay? So he's starting to turn this side. And this is what's gonna give me this opening here, because when he pushes my knee, he has to have his elbow up a little bit. Even if he tries keeping it close to his body, there's still gonna be a little bit of an opening, and this is what I'm looking for, okay? So I'm here, he turns on his side. This is where I can put my hand through that hole that's presented when he turns on his side. It's impossible to hide this. If he wants to push my knee out of the way, he has to use his hand. He can't use the forearm or just his elbow, unlike other frames where we say to use a forearm or the elbow, he has to use his hand. And he's gonna have this open. He cannot tighten his elbow anymore, even because he has to turn on the side. So my hand goes through that hole, and I can cut his tricep to turn him and pull him towards me. Now that he's pulled towards me, my other hand that's free, I can post on the mat, I can post on his head, whichever feels comfortable for you. Sometimes their head is kind of up, and you can just post on the head. I prefer actually posting far, okay? Because this is gonna give you a little bit more balance. Bring my weight to that side. Sometimes if I push my hand on the head, it's a little bit of a balancing act, or I don't feel as stable. So when I'm pulling him towards me, I can post far, and my leg is just gonna slide just around, just like this, okay? And now we're into that position that we were last week when I showed you Kimura. So from here, all I have to do again, I can post my hand on the mat, I can grab the leg, spin, and again, finishing the same way with wrapping my foot on the shoulder, here, holding onto the leg, and finishing down. Here, right away he starts turning this side, perfect timing. My hand goes through that hole, and I pull him towards me because I want to keep him on his side. If he goes flat again, right, then I can start going for this one, right? So he will most, yeah, so I want to make sure he stays on his side, right? Now I can post my hand far, and this leg is going to slide around. Okay? If I'm too shallow, I can't do that, right? So really important that I lean, post, so I have more space for my leg to do. Grab the hip, sit, and I'm wrapping my foot on the shoulder. Everything's tight, hugging, and chin. I'll do one more time. Your feet. miss his leg, which I won't say it's not important. This just makes it easier for you to finish so he can't spin away, right? If I don't hold on to that, he might spin out, okay? Which is cool, if he does, I can go into normal water. But having the legs secured is gonna give you a easier time to finish so that they don't run away. Why are they running away? Just let me armbar you, questions?
Can you just go over the Kimura variation so I see them back to back? It's like fresh in my mind.
Oh yeah. From side control?
Just from when you had your knee behind his back and I think I watched that video where you did something.
She wants to see the Kimura from the position where you're sitting on that.
Oh yeah. This is the one you're talking about, right?
No. When you go for the armbar.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Here, pull, right? So when I get to here, I can also stop and sit.
Yeah.
And so from here, since his arm is free, it's easy for me to just here. Okay. But if you wanted to do it straight from side control, like that would be. If I can, I could just go straight forward. But if I'm finding that I don't feel confident to continue around to the armbar, I can just go for the Kimura. So it's a nice quick one. But if you wanted to review the one from side control, here. So just when the arms are on their side and we're able to sit, then we're gonna have the ability to finish that Kimura or go into an armbar. Anytime that you're in this position here, it's always gonna be either a Kimura or an armbar. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions? Questions? So we did a video on some Neon belly drills. And one of the Neon belly drills that we showed was like a back step where you're spinning around over the head. Junior showed that one. This is where that comes in handy. So being able to switch side from Neon belly on one side and then doing the back step spin around so that you can be on side control or Neon belly on the opposite side. This is where that comes in handy because very often when you go to Neon belly, the person is going to react to the threat, in which case now their back is exposed. So we can now use that opportunity to either, again, maintain position or go for a submission. So really, really important that you practice some side-to-side drills. And you can do that with a dummy. You don't need a person, right? Obviously, if they turn side to side, it's even better. But before even that, just getting your body used to the actual movement because it's not the easiest thing to do at the beginning. But if you start now, then it gets really, really easy. And then it makes a lot more sense when you start doing with a person who's actually reacting and moving. But first is knowing where your body is in space, knowing where to put your weight, knowing how your body can move so it's not as awkward. Because these aren't, things that you do like normally, right? No one normally goes to the kitchen and like, oh, backstep, So like, you have to make sure you have to commit it to muscle memory or commit it so that it doesn't feel as awkward. So you don't have to think when you post your hand and spin around, you just do it. Anything to add?
That's very, very, very good. Guys, again, feel free to ask as many questions as you want.
Question?
I have a question about Kristina's armbar.
Yeah.
So when you go around the head, that leg, you had that leg attached to his shoulder the entire time. Is that the best way to do it, or is that because you're able to do it that way because you're more flexible?
Which one?
She said when you went around the head, she's asking about the foot. Is it always attached on my shoulder, or is just the way that you do it because you're more flexible?
I hook it in after the start. So because I can't hook it, I kind of hook it in transitions. So here, right, he turns in towards me, I post. So first, I just get to here. first I get to here so I can feel solid. Right now, my foot is actually on the floor right now. I can grab, and then as I'm leaning, I can either go right now, or I can turn and then insert it. So, and again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can always just like you just have right here, just right underneath the shoulder. If you don't want to hook it, that's fine. This just isolates the shoulder even more, so it makes it harder for him to escape. If I put it underneath here, his shoulder is free, so he can actually rotate it. Right here, he can't rotate. So this is just kind of like one of those little extra security measures, but nothing to do with flexibility. But if you don't have very dexterous feet and you're having a hard time doing that, you can just keep it right underneath the shoulder, just to elevate it, and it would have the same thing. And if you don't feel comfortable, you can always pick it out and put it in. Yeah, get the arm bar there. But you don't. Yeah, it's not there from the beginning. You attach it after the fact. So, because you have to spin, and so I'll usually put it in when I'm leaning my weight towards the legs, because then that means my legs are light and my weight is on my hand controlling his legs, so he can't spin out. And then when I sit back, then I can adjust it again. So that's another one that it's going to be a little awkward to get right from the beginning, but the more and more that you practice, again, leaning your weight away, and then so that your feet could be light to move however you want them to move, it'll get easier.
Same exact thing with the first one. You don't really need to place your foot. It can be your shin, and then once you fall, you can fix your feet. Yeah. The same way that I was up and I pull the arm up. I pull the arm up because it exposes the whole, like, sort of like the shoulder and like the back muscle too, and you know where to put your feet.
I felt like your shin. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, you can put your shin right there. Yeah, so it's like sort of like putting pressure on the person so they feel uncomfortable, and they really will. They will turn. They won't be like, oh, let me fight here. They'll turn a little bit. You really are putting all your weight on top of their armpit. It's just the way to make the position work. But for the armbar, you got the explanation. I think. Yeah, that works.
And so even if you're like some people who are like bigger or not as flexible, like, oh well, I can't do that, or maybe they feel uncomfortable putting their weight and then trying to find the time to hook the foot. So really, you could just put the pressure on their land and then adjust the foot afterwards.
Positions in jiu-jitsu won't be fully adjusted like when you do them. I say the same thing, like one quick example with a triangle, and the way I learned it, I thought it was one way, but it was different. We all think that when you close a triangle, it should already be perfect and it should already be very tight. But if you guys have been in the class, I've been talking about how tight Kristina's triangle is and how I never experienced it, but it's because you adjust it at all times. And I only started getting better when I learned that you gotta take your time. You close your legs. It doesn't matter if it looks bad, because you're gonna adjust it with time. You just gotta be patient. At the end product is to get the submission. So it doesn't mean that it has to look very good in the beginning. And you want to adjust things, as you go.
And then the spinning around thing is another good one that you can practice on the dummy while you do have a dummy, because now you won't feel bad about putting pressure, putting weight on the dummy. So you could just go ham, just like put all your weight on it, do all the swingy breakdancing moves on the dummy right now, because you won't feel afraid of kicking them in the head. But
when you go back to training, you're taking people's soul. They will not enjoy it. It is like when you practice. I say that again. When you practice a lot on a dummy, it's good, but your positions are very tight. So when you get on people, you'll be like amazed, like, oh, they tapping so quickly. Yeah, because you're hurting them. Like your position is hurt a lot now. Because you're doing it on somebody or something that never says nothing back. So you know what? Yeah, whatever. So yeah, just do it.
So now is the time. Abuse your dummies.
Yeah. Dummies.
Abuse your dummies, because now's the time. Any other questions? Okay. Getting the back from side control will be on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll start with that.
And then we'll show a few other more submissions on Friday with releasing videos.
Yeah, on Fridays we're gonna do something else, but on Thursday we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And next week, we're gonna move on to doing some escapes from side control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to near belly and focus on near belly again, and then backs.
Yeah. So hopefully it makes sense. We're not going like.
Yeah, hopefully it like once you guys watch that, oh wait, we just did that, or they adding this and that part. Oh, I see this connects to this.
Side control, like we mentioned before, is a gatekeeper position. It leads to a lot of other positions. It leads to submissions.
Yeah.
It leads to mount, and it leads to back control.
So we wanna like show all of that,
Yeah.
you know, before moving on to the specific thing, you know. Like as for now, we showed that you can get knee on the belly from side control, and when you're near the belly, you can get a couple submissions, and you can move around like with the drills that we made. But we're gonna go over all of that again when focusing just on knee on the belly as the position where you start off, you know. So there's always a starting point.
And keep in mind too, for those of you who like to compete, there's no points for side control. There's only points for passing the guard.
Yeah.
And that means sometimes you end up in side control. So that means actually technically the only way to score points from side control is if you go for knee on belly. So knee on belly is its own position, but it also is like partnered up with side control. So that's the reason why, it's kind of hard to teach it separately. You kind of have to show them together.
A lot of people will understand that they didn't getting points from the side controls. A lot of people get confused by that because they feel that side control is a very good position of control, but really is not the main one. It's not the strongest one. You know, you want to have knee on the belly, and then you have mount. It's between mount and back mount. My preference is saying that back mount is the best. Back control is the best one in terms of control of the person. But some people will argue that mount is the best, you know, because some people are very good at keeping the mount, you know. So
all the hot races out there.
these people will make mount feel like 200 pounds on top of you or 300 pounds, and you can't move, you know. For some people that know Professor Pimenta, you guys will know what I'm talking about. But for the ones that don't, you guys can maybe someday I'll show you guys videos of him, and you guys can talk. Ask around about him, and you'd be like, he's a lightweight guy. He's a 165, 162 pounds guy. But if he's on top of you and he mounted you, you will tap. You will you can ask Professor Gary, you can ask anybody. If he mounts you, you will not get out. It's you know, and this is mostly with the old school people. They are very good with mount. It's like they mount, it's good.
All right, so we're coming in close to our stop time. So if there's any other questions that we can answer, now is the time. We'll forever hold your peace. Otherwise,
I just wanted to know if you could go over a drill for the triangle.
From close guard?
I wanted to know if you could go over a drill for the triangle just so I could look at it and practice it based on what you're doing, because when I'm doing it, it's the hand positioning I can't get right in terms of what part of the gi to grab on a person, which the push pull movement for the triangle.
My favorite one, triangle from close guard, correct?
Yes.
So my favorite one. Because the hardest thing to get down in the beginning is understanding the one arm in, one arm out. So starting from close guard, a really easy one that we can do is just controlling the sleeves, okay? I'm gonna bring one foot onto the hip and one on over. So from here, I can even start even with my feet on the hips. It's the same thing, close guard, right? Feet on the hips. Raise. So I just lock. I don't even have to finish it. And go back down. Right? If you're doing it from regular close guard, so what you're seeing is I actually put my foot on the hip because I like being able to elevate my hip a little bit more. This is really important. But if you're doing that without it, just a little harder, okay? But lifting the hips all the way over and just locking back down. Arm in, one arm out, lock. And then you can start adding in the angle, which gets a little better, right? You can also practice a push and pull, which is push an arm in, over. Either way, I'm doing the same elevation of my hips. Okay, you're seeing that my hips are going up, and it's one arm in, one arm out. This is the number one thing that you need to recognize when it comes to a triangle is when there's one arm in the middle and one arm on the outside of the leg. Anytime that that's there, it's going to be there for the triangle. As far as all the finishing points, that's actually relatively easy. The hard part is actually getting to the point where you can lock the legs. You want to add? No? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
And you can also practice triangle sit-ups too by yourself, which is essentially just lifting the hips and then locking the figure four. It's also a good way to get super stabilization using your hips. Because once you understand how to do that, then shooting the triangle itself is relatively easy.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
That
class.
should be it. Yeah. Gary, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but.
Nope. I just would ask Eric next time. Don't show us the end, Eric. I that was a movie I wanted to see later. So and I know next time I'll bring my popcorn. So yeah. Hey, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys next week, Tuesday. I'm sorry, Thursday. That's what happens in quarantine, right? I call Junior. I'm like, Junior, what day is it?
It's Blur's Day.
What year is it?
Yeah, the other day I was looking at something and I was like, hey, Wes, can you tell me what this says? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, damn, man, you could have lied. You could have said you couldn't read it, but no, that's what happens. Don't get old, you guys. So, hey, we'll see you guys Thursday, same time.
All right, guys, stay safe.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks.